Hey guys, and welcome to Tim's Tech Corner, where we throw big tech out the window and run your own tech. I'm Tim, and today we're starting from zero to Homelab. This series where we're turning a $50 Raspberry Pi, a mini PC, or even that dusty old PC into a self-hosted powerhouse with CasaOS. More about that in a bit. So forget those monthly cloud fees and privacy concerns. Today, it's all about your data, your way. Self-hosting is more than just a tech hobby. It's about reclaiming control over your digital life. When you run your own server, you keep your files, media, and apps on your own hardware. No more handing your photos, documents, or even streaming playlists to big tech. No more big companies training AIs with your data and such things. Plus, you even save money by ditching those monthly cloud subscriptions. And with CasaOS, managing all of your self-hosted apps is as easy as using your favorite cloud service. Only it's yours and you have control over it. You don't need a lot of things, you just need a server and a bit of time. But don't worry, it's gonna be pretty quick. You also don't need a $2,000 server, a Raspberry Pi, an old desktop, old laptop, or my personal favorite, a mini PC like this Intel N100 model on AliExpress. It's gonna be power efficient and still have a good amount of power. The only downside of a mini PC is that it's hard to add storage and expand it in general. But I'm gonna let you figure this out. I'm going to have a few links in the comments. Feel free to check them out. Just note that I don't get paid for them, no affiliate links, just my personal recommendation. Today, we're just gonna set up CasaOS. Installing apps and managing them is gonna be in a future video. Today, we're just covering the two setups. One for the Raspberry Pi and one for a normal PC, laptop or mini PC. Those are all the same. So let's go ahead and install our operating system. So first, we are gonna search Raspberry Pi imager. And then the first result. And download for Windows, Mac OS or Ubuntu. But we're gonna take Windows here. And then run it. Of course, it asks me like an administration thing. Then install. It's gonna take some time and finish. Now when it's open, we're gonna start it. I'm gonna take Raspberry Pi 4 because I have a 4, but just take the one that you have. And then we're gonna go to Raspberry Pi OS Other and Raspberry Pi OS Lite 64-bit. Then we're gonna choose your SD card. Mine isn't detected, but just choose your SD card. So just put it in and now it shows up, yeah. So we choose it because it's the right one, 64 gigabyte for me. This, and then configure settings. It's in German for me here, sorry. And we're not gonna give him a host name, we're just gonna give him this, and it's gonna be admin and a super secure password like admin. We're not gonna configure Wi-Fi. You can if you want. I'm gonna configure my language because my keyboard layout isn't US and it's gonna mess up everything. Yeah, and then you go to this one. We're gonna activate SSH so we can configure everything remotely and be in the shell of it. Yeah. Options, no. And telemetry, we can deactivate that if you want. You don't have to. And then we go on yes. And yeah, it's gonna be deleted. Yes. And now it's just gonna copy everything. And it's done. So we can go on this and take it out of the PC, plug it into a Raspberry Pi, plug the Raspberry Pi into networking and the USB-C or DC power into it, and it's gonna boot on. Now you can skip forward because now we're gonna do the same with the PC. For PC we're gonna use Rufus, and you can search that and take the link at the top, scroll down a little bit to download Rufus 4.6.exe. It's not a big deal what you take, just take the top one, I guess. Then go on here. Yeah, I already have it, so it's gonna say that. Then we're running it. Yes. And there we have it. Now we're gonna go and search Debian. Debian, the universal operating system of www.debian.org. Go on download on the right and go on to this. This is gonna take a while, so sit tight till it's downloaded. And it's done. So we're gonna jump back to Rufus. It auto selected my flash drive. Yours don't has to be 16 gigabytes. I think it needs 4 gigabytes at least. Then we're gonna just ignore all of this and just go on here, select Debian, go on start. Okay. Yes. Yeah, it's gonna delete everything on that flash drive. So copy everything over. Okay. And that's also gonna take a while. And then it's finished. Perfect, so we don't have to press start again. We can close this and take the flash drive out of your PC and plug it into the PC, mini PC or laptop that you want to use. After you plugged it in, you can start your PC. Now we have to get to the BIOS, and that's the most tricky part of this tutorial, because it's not the same at every manufacturer. By some it's F1, F10, delete, F2. Just Google it. Google your mini PC model, Google the model of your motherboard, and just search how to get to the BIOS for that. It's probably one of these keys. You can also just spam every one of them. For me it's F1 here. No, it's F2 actually. You can see that on the top, on the bottom right. And now we're in the BIOS. I hope you can see all of that. What we have to do here is honestly pretty straightforward. We have to search boot. For me it's on the top right. You can navigate with the arrow keys in the BIOS. So it's also not the same in every BIOS. So Google your BIOS, Google your mainboard. Now we have here boot options, and we're gonna select USB SanDisk, because we want to boot from the USB drive. We don't want to boot from the hard drive. Then we're also gonna search secure boot, because we don't want secure boot. Secure boot here isn't by boot options. For me it's at security, secure boot, and I already disabled it. You have to disable it. It's not gonna like break anything or something like that. It's still secure. It's just not the Windows secure boot that is enabled. Now we go to exit and save changes and exit. Yes, it's gonna restart the PC, and then we hopefully will boot to the USB disk. And then hopefully we will boot to the USB drive. And there it is. We're in a Debian 12 installer. So I'm just gonna take you over here so it's a little bit easier for you to see. I'm so sorry for the bad quality of this. But we're gonna go on graphical install, hit enter. Then we're gonna press enter. And now we can select resolution, and you can just pick whatever looks best for you. I think it's E for me, but it can vary. Just look up the resolution of your monitor and then select that. And there we are. We're gonna select English. You can select your language. My location isn't United States, just do yours. I have to go on other, then Europe, and then down a lot, and there's Switzerland. But you can take just your country. Then the locals is gonna be, honestly, United States is alright for that. Then select your keyboard layout. That's essential because you don't want to have a wrong keyboard layout. So just select yours. For me it's Swiss, German. It's gonna vary for you. Then it's gonna do its thing, more or less. We will just leave it and let it do whatever it does. Now we're gonna give it a host name. I'm gonna say CasaOS. You can also just leave it blank or leave it at default. Press enter. The domain name is Fritzbox for me. You can do local or you can just leave it blank. Now we're gonna set a root password. It's gonna be a super secure one for me. Admin. That, and admin second time, Please take a more secure one than that, but just for the video. Now we're gonna create a new user. For me it's gonna be Tim. Password for Tim, it's gonna be admin for me. Admin. Enter. Just take a little bit more secure password than that. And then it's gonna go back and do its thing. Now we're gonna go guided use entire disk. Now the disk in this PC is gonna be completely rated, so just copy everything away from it that you need. For me, I have 3 of them in here. You probably only have 1 or 2. Just select the drive that you want to be the Debian install on. Just please select the right one. It's gonna be this for me. All files in one partition is good. And finish partitioning and write changes to disk. Now we're gonna go on yes, and it's one time again gonna do its thing. And it's done. So here we can select from where the packages will install for our updates. I'm gonna select Switzerland, just take the one near you, so probably your country. Then you can also just select which mirror, so which server exactly you want. I'm just gonna go with the default one. We're gonna leave this blank, and it's one time again gonna do its thing. So just leave it there, and then it's done. And popularity contest, that's more or less just telemetry. I'm gonna go with no, but you can go with yes. And then it's gonna do its thing. Here we're gonna unselect Debian desktop environment and GNOME. These are all our desktop environments, but we don't want a desktop environment. We're gonna access it from our web browser, so we need SSH server and standard system utilities, and that's actually everything we need. So just hit continue. So now we will install the grub bootloader. If you're dual booting or something, just see that it doesn't delete everything. But if you just have Debian on this, then just hit yes, and we're gonna just take the option at the top here. Ideally the one that you also installed Debian itself on it. And now we're finished with it, so we're gonna just go on continue, and it's gonna shut down. It's gonna shut down. Then as soon as it fully shuts down, we're gonna to remove our installation media, and it will go back up. It should now boot into Debian and just show you a terminal. Now you can just unplug the monitor and keyboard and mouse and everything and go back to your main computer. So now it's booted up, but we're back on our PC. That's because we're gonna remote into it, so you can leave it wherever it is. First we're gonna search advanced IP scanner, the top, and download.
save, then open it. Yeah, I'm gonna go with English so you all can understand it. And we're just gonna run it. You can install it, but I'm just gonna run it. We of course accept, and then run. Now, please just do this in your own network, because you're gonna see every device in that network. Just, yeah, do it at the home node. Yeah. So there are coming all our devices. It's searching, it's searching. So the hard thing about this is that you have to find your PC. Maybe you can identify it with this. You maybe can identify it with the name you gave it, with the Raspberry Pi. Just search, yeah, and try the next step just a bunch of times. With that, it's gonna work. After you found it, or you already know your IP address, we're gonna open the terminal and SSH into it. So now comes the fun part. It looks a little bit different for me, but that's no problem. Just run sudo apt install curl. So I don't need sudo, but you do sudo apt install curl. Yes. And it's done. Now comes the really fun part. I love this. You just paste this here. It's down in this description. Press enter, it should work. And now there it is. Once the installation is done, you can just open your web browser, go to the device IP. So for me it's 192.168.0.37. Press enter, and there we are. It's CasaOS. We're gonna set up an account, so it's gonna be admin. No, we're gonna take Tim. Admin. Create. It's too simple. Then we're gonna use add. Then I'm gonna use my password. Super secure password, and cancel, and there we are. We are in CasaOS, and we can now do everything that we want. It's so cool, believe me. But that's it for today's tutorial. Today we just laid the ground for starting. In the next videos we're gonna go in to install apps and services here. If you enjoyed this video and are ready to reclaim your digital space, hit that subscribe button, leave a like, and drop a comment below on what self-hosted app you're excited to run first, or I should cover in this series. So, thank you for watching, and I see you in the next one. Stay tech savvy.